Hello again and welcome back to my shop. I've got just a fun little project today. I picked up a couple of these blobs at work. These are LDPE or low density polyethylene, and they're used to make traffic cones. I had a little time today, so I thought I would take those LDPE blobs and turn them into a slimline pen. I'm fairly happy with how the pen turned out, and let's get started and I'll show you what I did. One thing that I noticed with this LDPE is that it's somewhat rubbery, and I ended up having to go back to the drill press and ream out the holes because initially my tubes did not want to fit into the blanks. I'm really happy with how this LDPE has performed up to this point. It cut very easily, it drilled very easily, and the thing I'm really happy about is you don't see a lot of air pockets in there. This is what we call a blob or a drool. At the beginning or at the end of a run, the material is allowed to run on the ground in order to purge the extruder, and many times as it drools, it will capture air bubbles in between the strands. Now for the true test. Let's get our tools out and start turning and see how easily and how nicely it turns. So far it's cutting pretty easy. What I'm noticing is, I guess because it's rubbery, I'm having trouble keeping my tailstock tight against the material, and I'm assuming it's because it keeps compressing because the material is rather rubbery. So I've tightened the tailstock up once again. Let's turn a little more. I keep catching down here at this far end, and what I've noticed is the barrel ends about right here. This is all excess space. I'm going to grab my parting tool and take this extra little piece of material off the end, and that'll stop me from catching on that open spot right there. right, that ought to help. I've still got kind of a gap there, but it's not two pieces that are just sort of flopping in the wind. So let's spin her back up and go a little further. This stuff kind of reminds me of like a orange crayon, the way it's coming off of here. I don't know why, but it just does. All right, tighten the tailstock up just a little more, and let's go again. You probably noticed that. That is really cool. It came off in a nice long ribbon, but as soon as I removed the tool and stopped cutting, it wrapped the ribbon instantly back around the mandrel. So I'm going to shut the camera off and get all of this cleaned off, and then we'll come back and turn some more. I got everything cleaned up. The blank's looking really good, especially this front blank here. Almost no voids at all. One or two small air bubbles in the back blank, but I'm not going to worry about those. We've still got quite a bit of material to remove, so until we get further down toward the mandrel or toward the brass tube, we really won't know what we're looking at. This material is incredibly easy to turn, but it's also incredibly frustrating because the ribbons just keep rewrapping around the mandrel. So once again, I'm going to kill the camera for a minute and get this cleaned up. I tell you, the ribbons are absolutely frustrating. I can only turn so far. If you hit them, they tend to cause a little bit of bounce in the tool, so I'm going to have to keep stopping and cleaning those off. Okay, the front blank is complete. Got a nice little color shift there. Kind of neat. It's on the back one too, where it goes from a light to a dark orange. It's kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and get the back blank turned down, and then we'll try to figure out how we're going to finish it. Okay, looking pretty good. I got just a tiny bit of fine tuning to do, and I'll be ready to start finishing. Tell you what, my back blank, look how loose that is on the mandrel. The front one's tight. My concern is that the barrel has come loose from the blanks. So I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm going to pull this apart and see if that's the case. Yeah, what the heck, I'll just leave the camera on, but let's take a look and see if we've lost our barrel. Every once in a while I've had this happen on a acrylic blank. Not very often, but occasionally. So, yep, looky there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this barrel and get it glued back in the blank. Then when it's dry, we'll get it back on the lathe and we'll just finish this back blank. So I'll be back once the glue is dry. I got my tube glued back up. It's dried really well. Got it back on the lathe. I'm just going to basically run over this a couple of times, clean it up, and then we're going to put this pin together. All right, let's see about polishing this baby up and getting a little finish on it. This blank has a rubbery feel to it, so I don't know how well it's going to sand. I've decided to use micro mesh pads and wet sand and just see if I can, the surface is pretty smooth, but I just want to kind of clean it up a little bit. So these micro mesh pads are fairly well worn. I didn't want to use any new ones because I felt like they would be a bit too aggressive. So let's go ahead and just do a little sanding and see what happens. I am wetting the pads to do the sanding. Just going to run through the grits like I normally would with a standard acrylic pen. This truly was one of my biggest fears of the whole project, is how I was going to be able to sand and finish these blanks, because I just didn't know what to expect with the LDPE. They look pretty good. I can still see a few fine scratches in them, and I think that's just because of of the type of material. I think what I may do is go ahead and attempt to apply a CA glue finish, maybe 4 or 5 coats, and then sand again. See if I can't give it a little bit of a shine. So I'm going to get this swapped out, or get these bushings swapped out with my non-stick bushings, and then we're going to see if we can apply a little CA glue to this. This is making a big difference. The blanks are actually starting to level out and get a little bit of a shine to them. So I think that the CA is filling any gaps or pores and leveling the blanks. So I'm going to go ahead and apply maybe 3 more coats. I'm going to get 6 coats built up on it, and then I'm going to run through the micro mesh again. My CA glue is dry. I'm going to go ahead and buff these extremely lightly with the micro mesh pads. I'm not going to put much pressure at all. And then I'll come back and apply my final coats of CA, and we'll see what she looks like. I just want to give it enough pressure just to take any areas off that might be sticking up, any little nubbies or anything. So I am dampening the micro mesh pads. I think that does help anytime you do acrylic or any type of a plastic product. It helps keep you from building up too much heat. Okay, I'm fairly happy with that. Let's see what she looks like. Nice smooth finish. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and stick 3 more coats of CA glue on here, see how it looks, and we may go ahead and buff it out with a little bit of polish. Putting the CA on very lightly by applying it to the rag as opposed to applying it to the blank, because I'm hoping that these will be my finishing coats. Blanks look pretty good. Let's put a little polish on them. All right, they picked up a little bit of a shine. They're smooth. They feel really, really nice. It's not the best material I've ever worked with, but I don't know, it was fun. Let's go ahead and I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm going to press this into a pen kit, and I'll come back and show you what she looks like. Well, here's the finished pen. It's not too bad. It's not one of the nicest pens that I've done, but you know, it was fun for some material that I never used before. One of the things I like is, if you can see it, I don't know how well it shows up in the video, but the color changes. There's a lighter orange here versus a darker orange here, and since I kept the blank lined up, it carries through into the cap of the pen. A lot of fun. I think I'll just take this to work and show it to the guys that make this material. I think they'll get a kick out of it, and other than that, I don't know that I'll ever turn this material again, but just thought I'd give it a try. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for joining me in the shop today. I had a really great time making this pen. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did like this video, I want you to know that I respond to all questions and comments, so feel free to leave one down below. If you're not a subscriber, click that subscribe button. If you really liked my video, share it with your friends. Introduce my channel to some people who may not otherwise know about me. And if you happen to be on Facebook, I now have a Facebook channel. You can go out and search for RJBWoodTurner on Facebook. My channel should pop up, and you can subscribe to me there or like my page, and you'll see things like this as they're happening. Once again, I'd like you guys to know you are always welcome in my shop, so come back and join me again real soon, and have a great day.